Welcome back to The Life with the Browns. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a story that has been whispered in fan forums for years. A story that TLC and the Brown patriarch hoped would never see the light of day. A story of family, fame, and a financial betrayal so staggering it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Brown dynasty. For 17 seasons, millions of viewers watched the Brown children grow up on screen. Their first steps, heartbreaks, graduations, weddings, struggles, and triumphs. The Brown kids were the beating heart of sister wives, and their lives became a primetime spectacle worth millions in advertising revenue and network prestige. But behind the cameras, a storm was brewing, one that would lead to a question no one dared ask. Until now. Where did all the money go? Before we get into the explosive legal filings, secret testimonies, and forensic accounting that expose the Brown family finances, take a moment to hit that like button if you believe the labor of children should be protected. Subscribe and ring the bell, because this is one story you won't want to miss. The Gathering Storm. To understand the lawsuit, we need to understand the foundation it was built on. This didn't happen overnight. According to insider sources, close to several of the adult Brown children, it was the culmination of a decade of quiet resentment, hushed conversations, and the slow, horrifying realization of the financial reality they had been left with. For years, the narrative sold to the public, and allegedly to the children, was that of a communal family. One family, one pot. Everything earned went into a central LLC, Kody Brown Family Entertainment, from which all family expenses were supposedly paid. On the surface, it sounded utopian. The show's income covered mortgages, groceries, cars, and healthcare, a financial system perfectly aligned with their plural family structure. But cracks began to appear. Logan, the responsible firstborn, went to college and carried his own student loan debt. Aspen worked her way through school. And when Madison, Mykelti, and Aspen had lavish on-camera weddings, the money came from TLC production budgets, not a father dipping into his fortune. Behind the cameras, the young couples were left to scrape together funds for down payments, starting families and building futures. The first major crack, insiders say, was Isabel's scoliosis surgery. We all remember the gut-wrenching storyline. Kody refused to travel with her for a life-altering operation during the pandemic. Financially, it was even worse. Christine had to fundraise through LuLaRoe sales to cover the insurance deductible and travel costs, while the family LLC, flush with cash from a show monetizing Isabel's pain, allegedly offered no help. Excuses ranged from funds tied up to needed for Coyote Pass or general family budget. A crew member later revealed a hot mic moment. Christine tearfully told Janelle, "I am selling leggings to pay for my daughter's spine to be fixed." Meanwhile, Kody and his favored wife Robin were reportedly shopping for new trucks. This disparity between Isabel's medical crisis and the family's supposed shared fortune planted the seed for legal action. A breach of the highest trust. How does a family dispute escalate into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against a father and a major network through a meticulous legal strategy? According to our analysts, the children's case rests on two pillars: breach of fiduciary duty and violation of the spirit of child labor laws. A fiduciary duty is the highest standard of care in law. It means someone in a position of trust, like a trustee, financial advisor, or guardian, must act solely in the best interest of the person they represent. Kody Brown, as father, head of the family LLC, and sole signatory on TLC contracts, was essentially their manager, agent, and trustee. The lawsuit alleges he didn't just fail. He allegedly worked against their interests. Income generated by the children's participation on the show was funneled into the family pot, which insiders claim became a personal fund for Kody and Robin's lifestyle. This is where the Coogan Law comes in. Named after child actor Jackie Coogan, this California law requires a percentage of a child actor's earnings, usually 15%, to be placed in a protected trust until they reach adulthood. Sister Wives, however, was filmed primarily in Utah, Nevada, and Arizona, states with few, if any, protections for child performers. According to the children's legal team, Kody and TLC exploited this loophole for over a decade, ignoring not only the law's intent but also the ethical and moral obligation to protect the kids. The leaked opening statement of the lawsuit is chilling. For 17 seasons, Kody Brown and TLC monetized the lives of 18 children. TLC received a ratings juggernaut. Kody Brown received millions to fund a lifestyle of his choosing. The only parties who received nothing for their years of labor, sacrifices, and public vulnerability were the children themselves. This was not an oversight. It was calculated, systematic, and unconscionable financial exploitation, masked as family values. Sibling solidarity. How did 18 independent and scattered Brown children unite? According to insiders, it was the older, financially savvy siblings, Logan, Aspen, Hunter, and Leon, who spearheaded the effort. Logan, the quiet MBA, saw the numbers and understood the long-term damage. He approached it practically, analyzing the disparity between the family's on-paper earnings, estimated at $2 to $4 million per season, and the financial struggles of his siblings. Aspen, the compassionate organizer, coordinated secret Zoom meetings, mediated disagreements, and reminded everyone of the inequities they had witnessed growing up: the favoritism, resource allocation, and unfulfilled promises of the Coyote Pass family compound. Hunter, the military nurse, brought discipline and righteous anger, furious that his siblings were disadvantaged financially despite their on-screen labor. Together, these siblings laid the groundwork for what could become one of the most explosive legal battles in reality TV history. In our last segment, we uncovered the foundation of the explosive class action lawsuit filed by the 18 Brown children against their father, Kody, and TLC. Now, the story gets personal, the stakes get higher, and the financial nightmare behind the cameras is laid bare. An insider anecdote paints the picture. During one of the early sibling-only strategy calls, Hunter spoke bluntly. "We were assets, line items on a budget sheet. Our births, birthdays, struggles, they were all content to be monetized. And all we got was a lecture on the value of hard work." The hypocrisy, he said, was staggering. Leon, thoughtful and justice-driven, reframed it in moral terms. This wasn't just about reclaiming money. It was about exposing exploitation and protecting children from having their lives mined for profit without safeguards. This was bigger than them. It was a precedent. Getting all 18 siblings on board was no easy task. Younger children like Solomon and Ariella, being minors, were represented by Robin, creating a conflict of interest. The lawsuit cleverly addressed this by filing as a class action with adult siblings as representatives, and the court appointing a guardian ad litem to ensure the minors' interests couldn't be sabotaged. Christine's daughters, Truly and Isabel, were vocal supporters, having witnessed their mother's financial struggles firsthand. Gwendolyn was all in. Even Pedon, despite past tension, saw the injustice and joined the cause. The hardest to convince were some of Janelle's boys, Garrison and Gabe, conditioned to view Kody's decisions as patriarchal duty. But a pragmatic discussion with Logan, armed with spreadsheets and cold financial logic, turned the tide. Logan showed the estimated show income, major expenditures, and the massive, unexplained black hole where the money vanished. His question was simple. Do you want your children to struggle as we have? This isn't revenge. It's justice for our future. That was enough. Exhibit A, the contract breakdown. Once the case was filed, discovery began and bombshells started dropping. The legal team obtained something unprecedented: unredacted contracts for all 17 seasons of Sister Wives. Top entertainment lawyers and contract analysts dissected them. Their findings were devastating. The single signature structure. Kody Brown, as president and sole signatory of the family LLC, had absolute control over the multi-million-dollar show income. The wives had little legal authority, essentially, acting as employees of Kody's corporation. Child participation clauses. This was the smoking gun. Contracts. They created a comprehensive financial portrait of the Brown family spanning the show's entire 17-season run. The lifestyle audit, as it was presented in court, revealed a shocking truth: two completely separate families living under one so-called financial umbrella. The children's reality. The first half of the audit exposed the financial struggles of the adult children after leaving the nest. Student loan debt was rampant. Logan, Aspen, Michael T., Hunter, Pedon, and Leon all carried tens of thousands in federal and private loans. The family LLC cashing seven-figure checks from TLC contributed next to nothing. The children were told repeatedly to be self-sufficient, earn scholarships, work, save, while the money they generated for the show funded everything else. The struggle for housing. Garrison, serving in the National Guard, had to fight tooth and nail for a mortgage on a modest Arizona home. Bank records revealed that during the same period, hundreds of thousands of dollars from the LLC were going to pay Kody and Robin's Flagstaff mansion and keep Coyote Pass from foreclosure. Medical bills and weddings. Michael T's daughter Avalon faced medical complications, and she and her husband had to cover the costs themselves. Meanwhile, the audit exposed lavish, non-essential purchases made from the same family account: designer clothing, luxury items, and wedding extras. On-camera celebrations didn't cover real-life necessities like rent deposits, furniture, or reliable vehicles. Kody and Robin's lifestyle. The second half of the audit stunned the courtroom. Charts and graphs traced LLC funds flowing directly into luxury and vanity purchases, high-end retail, collectibles, designer cars, and Robin's personal hobby, my sister-wife's closet. Over the years, over $500,000 was funneled into the failing business, subsidized entirely by the children's labor. Luxury homes, vehicles, and extravagant shopping sprees were paid directly from the family pot, while the children struggled with debt and basic expenses. Courtroom testimonies. The emotional core of the trial came alive as the adult children took the stand. Gwendolyn spoke fiery truths about favoritism and the clear divide between Robin's family and the rest. Gabe delivered a heartbreaking account of emotional neglect, revealing how financial and emotional abandonment were intertwined. Aspen provided a measured account of her unpaid labor as a de facto caretaker and the injustice of earning nothing despite her work on the show. Kody's defense. Kody argued the family pot was a necessity, that children benefited in non-monetary ways. But under relentless cross-examination by Elena Flores, his answers crumbled. Flores exposed Robin's jewelry business, luxury spending, and the failure to protect the children's earnings under Coogan principles. TLC's defense. The network claimed they were only contractually obligated to pay the LLC, not the children. But internal emails revealed executives knew the loophole left children unprotected. The court heard that TLC ignored these warnings. To maintain convenience and profit, a textbook case of corporate negligence. The verdict. After 6 weeks of trial, the jury deliberated for less than 4 hours. The results were clear. Kody Brown, liable for breach of fiduciary duty, TLC, liable for corporate negligence. Judge Ann Connolly delivered a historic ruling, calling it the reality TV reckoning. A child's life is not a corporate asset. Kody Brown failed in his duty as a parent and fiduciary. TLC knowingly enabled this exploitation. This court orders a restitution fund of $4 million divided equally among the 18 children. Let this ruling serve as a warning to every network, producer, and parent who would monetize a child's life for personal gain. Fallout and new beginnings. For each child, the payout, over $222,000, was more than money. It was validation. Student loans are being repaid, homes purchased, and futures reclaimed. The children's solidarity strengthened. They now run their own lives on their own terms. Kody and Robin, sources say, are in denial and apoplectic, vowing appeals and isolating themselves. Christine is proud, seeing this as vindication for her decision to leave a broken system. Janelle quietly feels justified. Mary remains conflicted but cannot deny the fairness of the verdict. Industry-wide impact. The case has triggered a reevaluation across reality TV. Networks are now implementing Brown Clause provisions, ensuring Coogan-compliant trust accounts for minors regardless of filming location. The Brown children's fight may have created lasting protection for the next generation of reality TV kids. The legacy. The 18 Brown children didn't just win a lawsuit. They reclaimed their narratives, proving the enduring power of sibling solidarity and justice. The story, once sold as an alternative lifestyle, revealed the timeless reality of greed, neglect, and courage. So what do you think? Was $4 million fair? Did Kody get what he deserved? And what does this mean for reality TV going forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me for this epic deep dive on Sister Wives Crew. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story. Until next time, take care, and remember, a child's story is never just entertainment.